When you have to cut someone off, even though they're not a bad person, sometimes in life, we find ourselves having to separate ourselves and withdraw our energy from certain people that we've known for so long. We know these people like the back of our hand. They know us. We know their fears. We know their insecurities. We know their talents and their gifts. We probably fought for these people. They've probably fought for us. And we've connected for so long. But as time goes by, we slowly start to drift apart, right? So when we're in school, like high school, for example, everyone is pretty much on the same page, right? Everyone's goal is to graduate. So there's not much differentiation between people's identity in high school. But when we leave school and when people start coming into their own, we really start to see people's true passion and their purpose here on earth. Some people leave school and become pilots, real estate agents, investors, singers, hairstylists. They may start a business. So it's like, we see how people can just blossom into their own energies, right? And while we're on that path, we meet people who are on that same path. So we connect to people who are on the same frequency and have the same goals as us. And we realize that the friends that we used to have in school, they don't have to be our only friends. Our friends from high school, we may relate to them in certain ways, maybe certain immature ways, because when we're in school, we're not in our, mature state of mind. So we may relate to our old friends through things like trauma bonding, right? Like gossiping, talking about people that we both know. Maybe talking about old memories, smoking, drinking, doing drugs, or going out to parties and clubs. It's like, yeah, we have a lot in common, but that was your lower self, right? Now that you've come into more of your purpose and more of your passion, it's like the elevation of that relationship kind of reached its peak because y'all are not interested in the same things anymore. Y'all are not interested in the same knowledge, the same science, the same, life path. Maybe you're trying to really develop yourself and mature and take accountability for your actions. And this person is still doing the blame game, right? Maybe you're trying to intentionally change your taste so that you can date a better type of man. Maybe you've been through abusive relationships or just relationships that ended in nothing. And now you're like, you know what? I deserve a lot more. Like, I want to choose a man that actually has things going for himself. I want to actually have standards. I want to make sure that I'm not dating, a guy that is just aesthetically pleasing to me, that may be my type, quote unquote, but he really ain't got nothing going on. But this friend that you have, that you love so much, that you've known for so long, still doesn't want to change her type because she loves the scammers. She loves the drug dealers, right? Or a guy friend, he loves the stupid girls, the girls that don't have nothing going on, the gold diggers, right? So it's like, how could you grow around these people when you are seeking growth, but these people are not? They're stuck in their ways. And even worse, sometimes we'll reconnect with old friends and we find out through their energy that they're not really happy for our elevation and our evolution. They're not really happy that we have a business that's taken off and doing great. They're not really happy that we found our soulmate and now we're seeking marriage and building a family. It's like sometimes people will try to pull you back to your old self, right? They'll try to humble you, quote unquote, right? Be humble. You need to be humble. Don't forget where you came from, because they don't want to feel like you left them, right? Your accomplishments and what you've done in life sheds light on what they haven't done for themselves. And something that can be very confusing that we don't realize at first is when the dynamic of a friendship is changing right in front of our eyes, right? So, for example, you may have a friend that you've supported for years. You've always had this person's back. You know, whenever this person needed you, you were there. And now it's like this person seems a little bit more distant, a little bit more bitter, and they are not really present in your life the way they used to, right? But because we have this romanticized version of the friendship from back in the day, we may just blame it on, oh, you know, they're just getting their life together. They're going through their journey. You know, I'm going to give them space and time, but it takes no time and minimal effort to support your friend. It takes no time to buy something from a website. It takes no time to repost your friend's business. It's like we make so many excuses, right? When really this person is withdrawing their energy because your accomplishments are really triggering them, right? What you've done in your life and how happy you look and how much you're advancing, it actually shows what they're not doing for themselves. And it's like, we don't even consider that this person could be hating on us, because it's like, why us? You know what I'm saying? Like, why me? I've been there for you. You know, we know each other like the back of our hand. Why would you hate on me? But sometimes, right, when you grow up with people and you've known people for like over a decade, y'all are around the same age, y'all grew up in the same town, y'all went to the same school, these people may view you as if y'all are supposed to be on the same level forever, right? So even when you've clearly elevated your life, even when you've clearly been making the sacrifices and applying the discipline to get to where you are, they'll never actually accept that you may be doing better than them, right? It's like, because y'all are the same age and this person thinks they know you, right? They think they know you. They want to pull you back to that low vibrational, that immature state of mind, because that's where they reside. They don't want to actually admit or accept the fact that you've leveled up and that you could even possibly be in the position to lift them up. It's literally a shot to their ego to accept help from someone they feel like should be on their same level, right? So sometimes you may feel an awkward distance between you and an old friend. You may feel that lack of support and that lack of communication, and you may find yourself chasing this person's friendship. Chasing this person's presence. And after a while, it's just like, why do I feel like this is a one-sided friendship? You know? And it's like, why would this person be trying to distance themselves from me? If anything, I'm the one that is even in a position to lift them up and better their circumstances. But it's pride, right? It's pride and ego that's not allowing them to truly not only just be happy for you, but to even be in your presence. So let's say, for example, you have a friend that this person doesn't have any issues with jealousy, envy, and, you know, they're still there for you and stuff. But in this particular case, this friend doesn't want to mature. They refuse to take accountability for their actions and what they choose in life. So every time they're around you, they're like an energy vampire. Where before y'all were just, you know, equally yoked friends, talking about y'all life together, you know, having conversations or whatever. Now this person is like a victim every time you're around them. Now you have to play a therapist every time you're with them. And it's like, girl, like, you keep on giving them the same advice over and over and over, but because this person is in just like this narcissistic victim mindset, yeah, they're going to take your advice because you're giving them attention, but then they're going to go behind and just do the same old thing because they're not actually ready to change. So this can manifest in other ways as well. Someone may be horrible with money, right? Or have horrible customer service, can't keep a job, can't keep a client. And every time they're around you, they're asking you for money or a ride or some type of favor. And it's like, girl, like, I love you, but I can't be around you because every time I'm around you, you get me for some money. Or every time you invite me out, I end up spending like $100 more than I planned on it because you don't have money for an Uber or you don't have money for another drink or food. And it's like you find yourself completely just energetically depleted every time you leave these people's presence. So it's like, dang, you love this person. You love being around them. I mean, you have to take them in doses, but you still love being around them and you love having fun with them, but they're so irresponsible. They're so immature and they're so inconsiderate that every time you're around them, you end up spending and wasting more energy and more money than you anticipated. And that can be frustrating. You know, it's like, dang, like we can't even have fun because every time we go out, you're not honest about how much money you actually have. So I end up buying you drinks, buying you food, taking you home, or buying you an Uber. I ain't got no kids. You know, like I don't have any kids. Why do I feel like I'm your mother? Right? So that can be very, very frustrating to have friends who are just completely irresponsible. It's like, listen, I love you, like I really do, but I literally can't be around you because you make poor decisions, poor money management decisions, and you're just crazy. Like you don't know how to act. Like you just don't know how to act. Now, sometimes when you're around people who clearly do not make good decisions, right? They don't know how to act when they're in public. You can inherit their karmic consequences, right? So for example, let's say you have a friend who loves to drink, but this friend cannot handle their liquor to save their life. Right? Every time they drink, they get crazy, they get irate, they start popping off at the mouth and getting defensive and just being crazy. So you knowing this, right? You still go out with that friend. Y'all go to the club and this friend is doing what they do best, drink. So they get drunk in the car. And by the time y'all go in the club, now this friend is being weird and being crazy again and ends up getting in a confrontation with the bartender. Now, the bartender kicks both of y'all out, right? And if you were by yourself, that would have never happened. You would have had a fun, smooth night. But because you were with someone that clearly makes poor decisions, now you had to experience their bad karma. Or let's say you have a friend that doesn't want to leave their toxic relationships. Every time they leave a toxic relationship, they're back in another one. It's like this person does not learn their lesson. They keep going for the same type of guy. They still don't have standards. They're still in their immature state of mind. So they keep going through the same scenarios over and over and over with different people. And every time you're around this friend, you have to play like therapists because they're always distraught over their partner, right? So you go over this friend's house knowing how they are and knowing that they're not changing no time soon. Your friend gets into an argument with her boyfriend and her boyfriend comes to the house. They're arguing. He's throwing her stuff. You know, they're fighting each other. And now you get yourself caught up in the middle of a fight, trying to break up a fight. And in the midst of doing that, you'll get punched in the face. It's like, if I was not here, I would have been safe in my home, watching a movie, probably eating dinner, but I'm trying to break up you and this guy's little argument, and I get hit in the face, right? That is you experiencing this person's bad karma just by being around them. So situations like that, it can be really confusing because it's not like this person intentionally did anything to you, right? It's not like they've attacked you or stole from you or lied to you. They're just going through their crazy life and you're just caught in the middle of it. So you may feel like, I don't want to turn my back on this friend. I'm going to feel fake if I, separate myself from her just because she's going through it. And them going through things in life, if anything, will make you want to lean in more, right? And support them more and show them more love. But the reality is, you cannot change people. They have to want to change themselves and their own decisions and their own patterns. If they're not able to even realize where they're going wrong, I mean, what makes you think you're going to come in and just change this person's life? You know what I'm saying? There's no amount of love and support you can give someone if they don't want to change for themselves. So if you ever feel like when you visit certain friends or certain family members, you're literally walking into your old life. Like, you can clearly tell this person has not changed and has not really grown or matured for years and years. And it's like, you've done so many changes to your life. You've evolved so much and you've manifested so many positive things that when you hang out with these old friends, it's literally like you're walking into like a time machine. It's like, damn, this person has not changed a bit, right? If you had those feelings, just understand and accept that you and this person just may not be on the same level anymore. You and this person just may not be aligned anymore. But that's okay, because your journey is for you and their journey is for them. Your lessons are not meant to be understood by them and their lessons are not meant to be understood by you. So it's okay. You can still love these people, but make sure you're always protecting your own energy in the process, because you don't want to get caught up in the crossfire of these people's bad karma. You don't want to get caught up in the crossfire of these people's bad decisions, or you don't want to have energy vampires around you just draining you of your time, your energy, and your resources because they don't want to take the time and they don't want to apply the discipline to accumulate these things for themselves. So yes, if you truly love someone, but you can clearly see that every time you're around them, your energy is drained or your life is in harm's way, you just have to love them from a distance. Like, simple as that. Love them from a distance because you don't want to inherit these people's bad karma. It's not your karma to deal with. It's not your situations to deal with. You have your own problems to deal with, right? So when you have to cut someone off, even though they're not a bad person, it can really put you in a confused place. It can have you like, I don't know what to think. I don't know whether to be there for this person or not. But just understand, always put yourself first. And whatever it takes to protect your energy, do that. All right. So thank you so much for listening to this video. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you go ahead and do that. Turn on your notifications and share this video to anyone you feel needs to hear this message. All right. And always remember, grow in peace, and success is a journey, not a destination.